I have slurred it. Allow me to enunciate more clearly. Greetings and welcome to the Mount Rushmore podcast. My name is Jeff, and I'm here, as always, with my good friends Richard.
Hello.
And Michael.
Howdy.
These guys always bicker about the Mount Rushmore of life. 4 things that most emblematically represent something. And this time around, we're talking about the Mount Rushmore of annoying things at concerts. Whose idea was this?
So this one is mine, and I think I got the idea. Michael and I were like chatting on IM. We had both gone to separate concerts like within a day or two of each other. And we were just talking about like things that happened at the concerts that kind of pissed us off or were annoying, things that maybe as we got older especially kind of got to be a little bit more than we could handle about going to concerts.
We had like a collective empathy towards each other's concert
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
And it's just like, oh my God, I felt the same way.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And so, maybe it is. I don't go to as many concerts as I used to. I used to go to a lot of concerts. And now, so when I go, it's like I don't have time for that bullshit.
Now, what's a show versus a concert versus something? Like, when you're talking about a big, like, is this like 1,000 people? Is it like
Could be both.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
think any of these are particularly.
No, it could be a smaller venue. It could be a big open air.
Okay, but it's not the symphony orchestra playing at the Red Cat.
No, we're not talking about the LA Phil.
Okay, all right.
Like a rock show, a rock and/or
A rock and/or roll with the dungarees.
I do get mad at the the third violin
Yeah, oh my God.
almost every time.
When Dudamel shows up late, everybody's going, Dudamel. Okay, Richard's choice, so Michael starts.
Opening bands. 3 opening bands.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, get over yourself, headliners.
Yeah.
How popular do you think you are? I'm here to see you and not these other clowns.
Right.
The thing that mostly gets me all worked up is there's rarely an opening band that I want to see that is added on with to whatever band that I paid money to go see.
Yeah.
Usually it's some sort of, I don't know, a band that either the headliner is brought along either contractually, they're on the same label, or it's a band that they particularly like that no one else does.
Yeah.
But the thing that really twists my panties in a bunch is when they say, "All right, we got one more song for you," and then that song that they play is like a 9-minute opus with all these different like deviations and solos, and it's a 4-minute song, and you extend it to 9 minutes, and therefore are just extending the night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting old. I want to see my band before 10 o'clock.
I don't like when an opening act tries to be self-effacing and does the whole like, "Oh no, you're not here to see us, ha ha ha." It's like, that's not rock and roll. That's not going to win me over. That just makes me feel sad.
Does an opening band are they really warming up the audience, or it's not like foreplay where it's going to make the sex even better?
No, I think they only kind of help get the audience lubricated a little bit.
Yeah.
They get those 3 $13 gin and tonics in you.
Okay.
And they kind of extend that process.
No way. So it's the headliner benefits because you've come in and you've had some drinks and you're warmed up.
It gives people time to kind of straggle in. If it's a 9 o'clock
There's
show
that
starts
too.
at 9,
Yeah.
so people know, okay, I can really get there by like
Oh,
10:30.
that's on my list too. I am a serial on time person. Just if we're
In
going
life,
in
yeah.
life, if we're going out to dinner, like we went out to dinner with some friends the other night. Like it was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. We were there at 7:57. Just because we knew that I can't operate that way.
Yeah.
Like showing up at 8:15 to a dinner seems weird.
It's rude,
At a party, it's different. But like,
Yeah.
if it's dinner or if it's a movie, let's just be there on time. And I never know when to show up because of the opening bands. Because I never know how many opening bands. Doors are at 8, shows at 9.
Which show?
Which show? Who's starting?
Yeah.
They're not showing up. They're not playing till 10:30. Oh my God.
And if it's a work
done.
night, you're effed because it might be 11 p.m. before the headliner gets on, and you feel like an asshole.
Is a corollary to this, which is the rare time when you're actually really only there to see the opening act.
That happened recently.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me. I went to go see Brendan Benson, and he was opening for Ben Queller.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh, party foul for you.
Shadu.
Did you stay to see Ben Queller?
About
You
half,
you should have.
I mean, yeah, I stayed for about like half the set. To my defense, most of the crowd was like 15-year-old girls who were screaming and wouldn't shut up.
When we eventually do Mount Rushmore of concerts,
Your
I've been
defense
to,
will be important in court.
Yes.
When
I think I'll be held up.
I've got a Ben Queller story for that one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But I went to see Brendan Benson, and I'm super excited about that. All these other, like I said, 15-year-old girls just want to see Ben Queller do Sha Sha. And it was just weird. So I went, and I felt like I paid full price, and I got like an hour's worth of whatever I wanted out of it.
The one thing I really do like, or I always notice with like opening bands too, is that there is a button on the mixing board that makes them sound worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's the suck button.
Yeah, either the suck button is pressed in, or they need to flip it, or they need to press the. Everything sounds 10 times better for the headliner.
Yeah.
It's just amazingly
contractual.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Just crappy enough that you're like that when Interpol comes on, you're like, oh my god, this sounds like I'm listening on my headphones. It's amazing.
I think it is something akin to I grew up in the 70s essentially, and our hi-fi had a button that says tone on it. It's like treble, bass, everything all rolled into one button.
I remember those.
It should just say suck, because if you turn it to one way, it sounds good. Turn it the other way, it sounds horrible. All right, Richard, what's your opening act?
My opening act is the person who doesn't understand when to stand up or sit down.
Oh, okay.
This person.
Is this a Catholic service are you talking about, or
Yeah,
a
exactly.
concert?
It's the type of concerts I usually go to over at the.
So saith the Lord. Yeah.
It's the person who just doesn't read the flow of the performance right, or the mood of the crowd. Happens a lot in not your shows where you don't have general admission, so you've got seats, but then some yahoo decides to stand up. Like, you can stand up for the first song, right? Okay, that's fine. But then second song, okay, it's a Ben Folds concert. It's Rufus Wainwright or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't need to go nuts over this. Then you can sit back down.
Mm-hmm.
But then if like a special guest comes out, then you can stand up. But there's always that one person who's still standing up, even though everyone else has sat down, and invariably they're near the front. So then other people need to stand up to see around them. Then you've got half the crowd who has to stand up because there's one Yahoo. Yeah. Or everyone else is standing because, an amazing special guest is coming out. And this person's like, what? Oh,
or they played the single, like their big hit single.
Yes.
Like that's the one that makes everyone, the radio single that everyone stands up. I went to a show like that where I saw it like Death Cab at the Hollywood Bowl. And there was this goon, like, sitting next to us that was there to hear one song. And then as soon as that song played, they just left. He's like, I got to get out.
That's incredible.
Let's get out of here. And it was like 25 minutes into it. And it's like, okay, we got another hour and a half to go, but
go for
get
it.
out of here.
Hey, here's Old Meat the Body. He's good to go.
That might have been the song.
There's also kind of related to this. It's not one of my picks, but the person who either shouts for the hit single the whole night.
It's awful.
As if, Fastball isn't going to be playing the way when you see them at the state fair. Yeah. Or the guy who shouts for the obscure B-side the whole night. Right. Because he wants to prove that he's cooler than every other person who's there, because he knows.
I don't know why I'm ever surprised when people who are assholes in one place are still assholes in another place. Right. If you're an asshole in the office around the water cooler, you're going to be an asshole at a concert too and do stupid shit.
I think it all goes in this idea of we have a general compact when we go to a show. Yeah. This is the type of show it is. You're not going to start a mosh pit
at the recital, your child's recital.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you might, but that's hey, look.
Andrew Bird whistles. There's no mosh pit that's involved here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that. We all have a kind of a compact
social
on how we're
contract,
going to act. And you're not going to stand up at the wrong time and screw people up. And you're not going to sit down when everyone else is standing. Yeah. Because then you look like a total, dork.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. That kind of leads into my next pick. Which is, listen, you 6'4" gorillas. My wife is 5'2". Don't stand in front of my wife so purposefully and be so obtuse to everything that is going around. Yeah. I understand that you're there to see the show and you're not there to stand in front of my wife. Or maybe you're not doing it purposefully. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
It's like you mentioned like a few weeks ago. You were talking about like subconsciously not paying your taxes or not figuring
Yeah.
it out. Like you 100% know when a person is so much smaller than you,
Yeah.
struggling to look over your shoulder to see the band. And maybe you're pulled along by like your girlfriend to stand there but there's a weird, like, I'm so conscious of myself at a concert of a smaller person in front of me or
Yeah.
behind me, and like I try to move around because I understand we've all paid the same amount of money to be there, but it's so weird when like so many people like shut themselves off, like they only see like whatever's in front of them that's on the stage.
Yeah.
They're like 100% okay with being kind of a
Yeah.
dick to whatever's behind them, as if
Yeah.
that just doesn't
I
exist.
do think people have, since the advent of home video or watching television at home, and how that experience reduces the manners you might show when seeing a live event around other people. Like people, I think they're so focused on the entertainment experience, and the cost of it is somewhat exorbitant that they have chosen to ignore the needs of others. That's not fair.
There's a certain sense of like survival of the fittest on the floor. Like especially if you're one of those people that are going up to the front and have to be at the front, and you're pushing your way all the way
Yeah.
through. I kind of get that, but when you're 40 feet back from the stage and you're all just trying to get a good view of whoever is on there,
Yeah.
it seems so like strange and rude.
My second one is pushing to the front of the stage.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm really happy how this is all dovetailing here.
Yeah.
So even worse, if you happen to be the 6 foot, if you're basically Kareem Abdul-Jabbar growing his hair out, and you decide to push to the front of the stage, that's even worse. And I know I did this when I was younger, when I was like in high school, early college. I'm short and I'm kind of wiry. Used to be wiry, and I could like just worm my way up to the front, which I also had to do because short.
Yeah.
If I didn't get near the front, not quite as good of a sightline necessarily.
Yeah.
But you know what? Most of the time, you're not seeing anything more special.
Yeah.
It's louder.
Yeah.
Ears are going to ring more. But you're not going to get that much more of an experience being, especially the people who have to fight to push people all the way to get like 5 feet ahead. Mm-hmm. That happened to me when I went to go see the Replacements. I got there late-ish, kind of got my space, like kind of was at the Palladium about midway up.
You pissed a circle around yourself that no one else could cross over.
Tried. Some guy just, right as the show starts, a guy who's like 6'1" just kind of slides up right in front of
Yeah.
me. And it's like, look, again, social contract here.
Yeah.
If you're tall and if you've been there the whole night and you kind of wind up in the front, got it. Probably try and go off to the side, but okay. But don't be the guy who just elbows me out of the way when I've been here the whole time. I've kind of got my little space planted.
There's also a weird, I think there's also an understanding that there's a difference between men and women. Can we all agree? And that,
Yeah,
like,
there are several differences between men and women. I would agree with that.
one of them is that the 15-year-old girl that's holding on to her best friend and like trying to pull themselves to the front, I kind of accept that.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're younger, you're impetuous, and you're trying to stay together with your friend, and okay, so be it.
Yeah.
If you're lugging your 6'5" gorilla boyfriend to the front as well, like,
Yeah.
at some point I'm like,
That's enough.
it's enough.
I think every episode we bring up some of the people who have an attitude of the world's all the best things in the world are mine to steal from other people, or like, and have no consideration for those.
These are the type of people who are convinced that if they can get to the front of the stage, they can make a connection with the band. They're going to make a funny joke at the end of a song, or they're the one who's going to request the really obscure song, or they're going to make some sort of bad sexual entendre that the band's going to go, hey, this guy's cool. Come backstage afterward.
Yeah.
Guarantee
Yeah.
you this is happening in their heads.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the coolest, best fan they ever saw. And when they get off the stage at the end of the night, first thing they're going to say to each other is, hey, did you see that guy in the Wings t-shirt? That guy fucking rocked.
One exception, or one thing I actually don't mind the hot chicks pushing up towards the front, is growing up in Kansas City when major acts would come through. you kind of wanted them to come back. And if they had the impression that Kansas City was the place with these hulking fat dudes in a police synchronicity T-shirt only, and not a bunch of hot babes, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. That's a weird thing to say. I also think people are out. The times I've been to Vegas most recently, you'll find people who go to Vegas a lot and consider it as just kind of entertainment, and there's people going there to have an experience in which they can leave in Vegas. I'm coming here to have an incredible experience, and if I don't do something outrageous or get close to the fire in some way, it's not an incredible experience that I can go back and tell my friends I did this crazy thing.
They have to pretend it's like the movie Bachelor Party.
The movie Bachelor Party, if they have to
Or
be
the Hangover or something.
Yeah, if I'm in the front row, then maybe I'm going to be Courtney Cox in the Dancing in the Dark video, and I'll be pulled out of obscurity.
By the way, also, hello.
Okay.
It's this time where you introduce the new single. This is song off our new album, otherwise known as Gotta Take a Leak.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a beer.
Go for it, yeah.
Rich is totally right. This is midway through the show where the keyboard player gets to sing the song that he wrote, and everybody else kind of shrugs their shoulders and rolls their eyes, and they go off stage for a while. And Jeff, the host, says something like, "Hey, we want you to be in the band with us, join the concert-making ensemble, and join us on social media. MountRushmorePodcast.com is our website. You can go to Mount Rushmore Podcast on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and interact with us. We'd love to hear your opinions, get your feedback, and get your suggestions for future episodes. We'd also love if you go to iTunes and rate and review the episodes and the podcast, and then go listen to old episodes. It really helps us to raise awareness for this podcast if you're catching up on all the things we've done in the past.
If you give us a review on iTunes, it's like being at the front of the stage.
Yeah.
We're going to notice you. We're going to say that is the coolest fan that we have. We'll invite you backstage afterwards. Maybe get you some booze, maybe a little bump or something.
Yeah.
If you have any leftover, groupies, maybe we'll fall your way.
That's right. Yeah, you can sleep with the guy who works the mixing board or something like that.
Go for it.
Yeah. Here's a broken drumstick and a guitar pick from the bass player. Why did they even use those? So it's the second half. The rest of the band has just come back on stage after the keyboard player played his song. That's the lead song on the second side of the new album. And Michael, what's your third choice?
You cell phone people.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. You're not Ann Leibovitz.
Woof.
You're not Herb Ritz. You're not even Ritz Leibovitz, who is possibly the best photographer of all time.
Best iPhone photographer ever.
And the #1 tile salesman in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
You are there experiencing a concert live, and you are just blocking other people's vision with your cell phone that you're holding up to record this in a poor audio, and the video is going to be terrible, or the picture is going to be bad. It's never as good as you think it's going to be.
And meanwhile, you're not experiencing the show.
And meanwhile, all you're doing is you're concerned about whether you got all of that song or not recorded so you can upload to YouTube. And, maybe if there's a couple of them, that's fine.
Or if it's like the first song.
Yeah.
Or if something special happens. All right.
But concerts are never like the Verizon commercial.
Yeah.
They never turn into... That's weird.
Oh my
That's amazing.
Verizon just sent me a text message. Yes, wait, they are. Concerts are exactly like that Verizon commercial.
Mount Rushmore Podcast, sponsored by Verizon, you guys.
Concerts aren't on like the roof of like some cool downtown loft.
Yeah.
Where people are like, there's market lights everywhere, and they're just beautifully shot. Like and they don't translate that way.
Yeah, it is akin to taking a photo outside the window of your airplane or something that I always look and think that's not gonna.
There used to be like that kind of agreement where you'd go into a venue, before like the age of cell phones and iPhones specifically. There was no, live recording of this event. But now that your phone is just tied into your camera and it's your video recording device, and it's all in one, like. I think they just kind of gave up. And I think probably bands and venues kind of just accepted being like, well, if more people can still see this, more people will go out to concerts and more people will listen to music. So
it's the 250 views you're going to get off of your grainy, looks like they're shot by a potato video is really... A friend of mine actually got her camera taken away at a Kids in the Hall concert we went to
Oh, wow.
because they thought she was recording something.
There's only one time that
Kids in the Hall need is all the help they can get, right?
Well, this is back in the 90s.
Okay,
They
all
were
right.
still a thing.
Okay.
there's only one time that I went to a concert that actually felt like that kind of Verizon commercial with all the screens lit up.
Yeah.
And everything was beautiful. Emily and I went to a Two-Door Cinema Club concert at the Hollywood Palladium, which is just a great venue.
Yeah.
And we were standing up on like the second level, like we got a drink, and it was just a sea of 20-somethings and
Yeah.
teenagers all holding up their beautiful Samsung Galaxy phones. And like the entire thing, there you go. Richard's doing it. He's waving it back and forth like a lighter now.
Don't do that, by the way. That's also ancillary thing. Don't do that.
But it was amazing. Like it was like, oh, this is what this is supposed to
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah. Okay, Richard, what's your third?
One more thing about that. I went to a Replacements concert that I mentioned. People had iPads
Yeah, I
out
see
doing
that.
this.
I see that at Disneyland,
What
not
are you
at concerts.
doing? I mean, the phone is bad enough, but the iPad?
It's not gonna get.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get
Make a
better.
bigger picture. Yeah, it's not how this works.
Yeah. I gotta say that this problem has been around for centuries. And there was in Mozart's journal, he was talking about people getting out a canvas to paint at the concert. Like, just draw a little sketch,
You have a sketchbook.
a
That's all
little
you need.
notebook. You don't need the big canvas with the watercolors. And
Having said that, my next choice is the person who sings along with every song. I didn't show up to hear you sing, dude.
yeah,
And it's context. If you go to see Oasis and they start playing Don't Look Back in Anger and you're at Wembley or something,
yeah,
sure, go for it.
Right. Your collective sound
Yeah.
reverberates and sounds good, and you feel like a part of something.
yeah.
And you understand that the band is probably expecting you to do this. It's
Let me hear
a
you.
big sing-along
Yeah.
part and everything.
Usually that's every Coldplay song.
Yeah, basically. But if you're like at a Waves concert or something, nobody wants to hear you sing. It's not a situation where anyone wants to hear you sing.
Mm-hmm.
And invariably, you're a terrible singer. Nobody ever sings along at the concert and someone stops him after and says, "You know what? You're a really good singer.
Yeah,
I've got a band."
Yeah, Bono stops and grabs him on stage and says, "I've been doing this for 40 years, and I didn't realize it."
He just quits on the spot.
Just
I
quits.
finally found someone better.
Here's my card. I manage people who sing along to concerts. I think you've got a career
You've got what it is.
to sing along to some stuff.
Which again, I think falls into that category of I am in my own little world. I have paid my $50 plus the $30 Ticketmaster fee
Yeah.
to show up to this concert, so I get to do whatever I feel like makes my concert experience better, even if it clearly and obviously is going to make the experience much worse for everyone around me.
Right. It's very selfish.
Yeah, it's just this mentality of maybe it's because tickets are so expensive. God, tickets are expensive now. I don't like I said, I don't go to a lot of concerts anymore, but you can't get in the door of a concert for under $75 if it's like a decent venue.
I was thinking about this the other day. I almost put that on my list as just the rising costs of concerts. Looking back at like older shows that I've gone to, and from 15 years ago, and tickets were $15, and
Yeah.
that was about it. A couple dollar service charge. But I don't know if there's a show that I've been to where I've left feeling, and maybe it's just because we're getting older, but like I don't know if there's one that I've left feeling like I got took.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, but I also think
Yes, I agree that that factually they are getting more expensive, but like maybe I just enjoy the concert experience so much in spite of all the things that we've said so far, where like I didn't leave being like I paid $40 for that ticket and that was it.
Yeah.
It's always been like,
Well, I would say this. I think that's probably true, but I'm also much more selective in the concerts that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pay $50 to go see a band that I know something about and I've heard a couple of songs on the radio, but they're playing today and I like a couple of songs I heard, so let's go give them a shot like I used to do, 15 years ago.
That's definitely true. I haven't done the like spur of the moment. I mean, it's so hard to today too. Like if you're not buying the tickets the day they go on sale, it's getting increasingly more difficult to like whatever StubHub tickets. I don't think it works out as well as you think it does.
Do you? I as I've gotten older, will pay a certain amount. Like I'd pay like $50 to go see an act that I like, and then if they were going to play in my living room, I would pay them $5,000, so I didn't have to go into Hollywood to go to that bar and see it. Or if they were to play it at 6 p.m. or if they were to play at noon on a Saturday, I'd pay $2,000 for a ticket.
It's always the Tuesday night, 9 o'clock show.
Oh yeah,
over at the El Cid.
Well, our friend and listener of the show, Austin, had Ben Lee play in his backyard, right?
Yeah.
Because wasn't his sister a big Ben Lee fan?
Yeah.
You were there. I didn't get invited because I'm a loser.
Yeah. Well, it was the show of the lifetime. No, it was a really fun show. It was just a really sweet backyard performance, and I guess he does a lot of them like that. And it's weird to see like a real artist up close. Like he like live periscoped it, and it was silly.
Wow.
And he just played. It was just him and his guitar, and he played songs, and people kind of sang along, and it was a real strange, sweet moment in an LA music
Was
scene.
anyone standing up in his backyard that should have been standing up?
Michael, what's your fourth?
It's me, being old,
Oh,
getting older
no.
for forever.
Oh, this podcast just
there's-
imploded.
There's nothing more like annoying knowing that like you love going to concerts and that you love a certain band and you know a band inside and out and you love the new album and you're there early and you're enjoying it, and no matter what you can do, you're consistently and constantly just becoming the old person at the concert that all the 20-year-olds look at you as just like an ancient.
Yeah.
What's his grandpa doing here?
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. Like, I don't think I look super old, but like, you look old.
Yeah.
And you start to like feel old. You're like, why am I at a rock show? I'm 37 and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And like the next step is you're like buying tickets to the Playboy Jazz Festival at the Hollywood Bowl. And that's just your life
That's
now.
your life.
Is you have season passes to the Hollywood Bowl's, LA Phil show. And you're like, okay.
Or there's the other version of this, which is what I have, which is I now feel like I cannot go see a new band or a young band. Anything I see anymore is like a band that
You've seen
I
before.
liked when I was
Yeah.
21 or 25 or whatever. Like the Replacement show that I went to, or I saw Squeeze or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's, and I went to that Replacement show, and we've talked about them on the show before, and it was just, I never got to see them when they were around, and this was like that second amazing chance.
Yeah.
And it was a fabulous show. And I looked around and everyone was my age or older. And you just had that feeling looking around of like, it's not just that we're here at a concert. It was like, we made it. We survived. Like, look around us. We're still here.
Yeah.
Whatever bullshit happened in our lives from, 85 or whatever on, we're still here. And that counts for something.
Yeah.
And so it's like, those are the type of shows I feel really comfortable at. But yeah, if I'm going to go to the Echo, or some like Al's Bar or something and see some like, hip indie band, I am not that guy and I am not comfortable.
I think rock and roll tends to do that. It pushes you like gradually from, the front of the stage, and then it pushes you through like the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Then it pushes you to the back of the floor. Then it pushes you to your seats, your specific seats in the balcony. Then it eventually like pushes you home, and you're just listening to things on like a Bose headset. And you're just like, all right, this sounds good. But Richard, I think that you're in a very interesting spot right now because you have a daughter that in the next few years is probably going to start getting into music and getting into rock and roll. And then you're going to be like cool dad that gets to take his daughter to concerts. And then you've got to kind of traverse that sort of deal, which sounds like to me, like one day I hope to have kids and I want to be like kind of goofy dad that takes his kids to a rock and roll show and just
it's like
and
that,
I call it a rock and roll show
Yeah.
and drive them crazy.
Well, it's like that weird thing where it's like, I am pretty sure Vivian's not going to have my taste in music. And I kind of hope she doesn't. I mean, I didn't have my parents' taste in music. My parents were also a lot older than I was, but yeah, I don't
enjoy laser blast music because that's what you're going to be listening to.
You guys should go to the website. I'm going to post in the show notes an Onion article that was about cool dad can't understand why daughter doesn't like. It was like replacements or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like the cool dad trying to push like all the. I want to make sure my kid like knows all the great music. Here, look, check out this MC5 album. And it's like the kid just wants to listen to like One Direction or whatever, and that's fine. Be a kid, listen to shit. Yeah, I did. Eventually, I figured it out. But
my wife and I were walking down Los Feliz to crossed at Vermont and Los Feliz, wherever the Greek unloads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Los Feliz.
Los Feliz. And
Or Los Feliz.
Chance the Rapper
The
had a
place
concert
where the
last
Greek
night.
unloads is a whole different bar. Don't go there.
That's not tzatziki sauce.
That might be like Oil Can Harry's on Ventura.
Oh boy. And Chance the Rapper had played, and I had read on the internet, here's this guy who has never released an album. He's
Really?
YouTube famous. He hasn't released an album. He's like that
Mixtapes, maybe?
Yeah, like that Macklemore guy. He never had a label. He's a YouTube guy or mixtapes or something like that. And all these kids were just all beautiful, and they seemed like they're 15. They're probably 19 or 20, and they're all on their phones. And I just remember feeling like I might as well just step into a open grave and just lie down there and wait.
And it's also-
They will be there with shovels.
With shovels,
just
just
ready to
piling
go.
that
There's
dirt.
an app that helps bury you.
Yeah, throw us your phone first.
And as you get older, you start to realize like your ability to gauge younger people's age
Oh yeah,
gets way off.
yeah,
Like could be a teenager, could be 23. That's what I told the judge at
yeah,
least. So
yeah. Okay, so cell phone people. Michael, your last one was what were we calling that?
just being old.
Being old.
You know,
Oh, himself. Being
Me,
old.
me.
Okay.
And then my last one. So it's time for the encore, guys. And that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
The actual encore.
The pretense of it.
It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. We all know what's happening here. You have planned an encore because after an hour and a half, you need 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Get off stage, get your mics and everything retuned. You're going to go take a piss, drink a beer, do a line, whatever you need
Yeah.
to do.
Just
For
a
5 minutes.
Wiggles go do a line.
Yeah, Yanni concert. But we all know it's bullshit. You haven't played your hit single yet. You're not going to leave not playing the hit single, but yet you expect me in the audience to sit there and go, one more song, and clap along and stoke your fucking ego.
Yeah,
When we all know this is happening.
yeah,
It would be, and I want to go home. I'd really like to go home. And we're just padding this thing with the time in between the encore. Then you have to come back out. We're all going to cheer for you and then tune up again.
Yeah.
Do 3 more songs, leave. Then we do the whole process over again. I'd rather just came out and said after 90 minutes, all right, we got to take a piss. We're going to come back in 10 minutes. Guys,
Yeah.
go to the bathroom if you need to. We'll come back and we're going to play it for another half hour.
yeah.
And then that's it.
What is the purpose? Like, what is the heredity of the encore? Was it actually asking the audience to? Do you think there was ever a point where they left and they came back organically, or was it
I'm
always
sure,
theatrics?
yeah.
It must have started that way. I mean, I think the Beatles were kind of famous for playing a very tight set. They played 45 minutes and then left.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
That was
and
it.
then and I think all concerts were like that. And I bet that they got to a point where someone was like, what if we go back out? What if we blew their mind and played one more
straight
song?
out of their
There's
heads.
one more.
And then it's like people are starting to leave. We're like, wait a second. And then someone got in there. Well, if we start clapping, maybe we'll get them to come back out.
It's like the Marvel Comics scene at the end of the movie, at the end of the credits. Now you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
stick around until the actual lights
Post-credit,
go
yeah,
on.
that's right.
And some bands will even come out after the lights go back on. So now I'm stuck there for another 10 minutes, making sure that the show's really over before I can leave. And now, like I said, it's 11:30 on a weeknight. I'm fucked at work.
Flock of Seagulls played at the Starlight Bowl, and there was
Oh,
no
this-
question that I Ran was going to be will not be played until after they leave the stage for 10 minutes and go take Geritol or something like
Whatever
that.
you need to do, yeah. But I'm okay with that. But now the encores, there's nothing organic about it. Be honest. Take the break. And then, look, if we're really enthusiastic and we really want you to come back and you come back, then it does feel like, wow, this special thing. You guys really appreciated our set, and we really appreciated your response to it. Versus this like stage bullshit.
I would love to see that done with a dramatic Broadway play. Like
they've got a fourth act or something that they've been hiding.
If the audience really likes it, we'll do another act. Shakespeare will come, Hamlet will come out and go, "I'm not dead." Oh, sorry, spoiler: Hamlet dies at the end of Hamlet. Okay, so these gentlemen are each locked into the vault. Vault. Stephen Hawking vault.
Vault energy drink.
Vault energy drink. Their choices. So while I do a half-assed job of judging who is the best, I'm going to say what my choice is, and that's and it's very rampant in Los Angeles, and that's big ticket shows that have 90% of the tickets given away to industry people ahead of time. So I went to go see AC/DC, as I'm a big fan. All of the floor of the Coliseum was taken up by guys in dry cleaned denim jeans, and they had their arms folded, and they're there with their teenage daughters or whatever, and they're not bobbing their head or rocking out or having a good time. They're just there because they got free tickets or something like that. So, like when that happens, your concert isn't filled with fans. It's filled with just people who are there for some kind of demonstration of status or whatever, and that just pissed me off.
So you went to an AC/DC show, and you saw a bunch of people who were basically contractually obligated to be there and didn't really want to be there. You talking about the band then? Hey, high five, guy. Michael, no?
That's all right.
Richard, I'll murder you after the podcast. So people who are there for some kind of status display or something like that. Like if it's a ticket, those tickets weren't that hard to get, but those seats might have been, those ones down on the floor. So that was a pet peeve. I'll tell you another pet peeve of mine is that when you, the listener, go on to your iPod or your iPhone, or you go online to a podcast website and you decide that you want to listen to a podcast that's about two people competing and the one person's going to be the winner, and that doesn't happen, it sucks, doesn't it? Well, it didn't happen today. These guys, Michael and Richard, they both have some very similar opinions about the concert behavior, and they both made some very compelling arguments. Michael, opening bands, one of them is ending with a 9-minute opus. People standing in front, especially of his diminutive petite wife. Cell phone people trying to capture the magnitude and wonderfulness of the show, and then just his own self-loathing choice of being old and just kind of seeing his concert days dwindling out like wine pouring out of a bottle, the last drop. Then Richard, he doesn't agree with Michael. People who don't know when to stand or sit, inappropriate, people pushing to the front, people singing along. As a kid from Kansas City, every musician came to Kansas City, thought they were doing us a favor by singing the song Kansas City, and they would always ask people to sing along with them. Sting sang Kansas City.
Did anyone ever do Kansas City Star by
by Roger Miller? Nobody ever did that. And then the encore. And you know what? I, as the judge and jury, deem you both have tied today. It's the second time in Mount Rushmore history that there's a tie. Now they have a ceremonial shaking of the hands.
Third time.
Is it third time?
But who's keeping score? Oh, I am.
Michael
Every
actually
week.
keeping score.
You can check that out, too.
All right, that's the third tie.
All right, guys, we're done tonight. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
We're not coming
We're
back.
done, guys.
We're not coming back for another pod.
I don't know. The lights are out. Are they done? I see the band bus driving away. Do you think they're going to play another one?
Oh, man, Los Angeles, you sure know how to party.
Hey, we're back. Oh, the concert venue shut down. Hey, talk to you next time. This has been Jeff.
This is Richard.
This is Michael.
About what?